The U.S. Supreme Court has ordered the Trump administration to pause the deportation of several Venezuelan men accused of gang affiliation. The individuals are currently detained in Texas. They were being deported under the Alien Enemies Act, a rarely used law from 1798 that allows the president to remove citizens of countries considered hostile during times of conflict. President Trump has invoked the law to deport Venezuelans he alleges are part of the Tren de Aragua gang, calling it a threat to U.S. national security. Over 130 individuals have been sent to a high-security prison in El Salvador. Civil liberties groups, including the ACLU, have challenged the process, saying detainees weren't given the opportunity to contest their deportation, and some received notices only in English despite not speaking the language. The Supreme Court previously ruled the law could be used, but said individuals must be given a chance to challenge their removal in court. In one case, a Salvadoran man with no criminal convictions was deported in error. The court ordered his return, but the administration has said he will not be allowed to re-enter the U.S. Since returning to office in January, President Trump's immigration policies have faced increasing legal scrutiny. Quinton A. Hitchcock, American political consultant, is joining us live from Washington, D.C. Quinton Hitchcock, what do you make of this ruling by the Supreme Court? Obviously a big setback for the Trump administration.
It's a big setback, no doubt. It's also a very unprecedented situation. I don't think any time in our history have we had such hotly contested legal battles as it pertains to immigration policy. Something that's very important to remember, and this is the president's stance on this, and that is there's no court in America, certainly not any district court, but not even the Supreme Court, that they view has the influence to dictate foreign policy. So that's the president and the White House's view of this. Now, the Supreme Court, basically the entire opposition, their view is, listen, we need due process in this country. If somebody's a criminal, if they're going to get deported, if they're going to stay, okay, that's irrelevant. What they need is due process. And we did not see due process in the example of Mr. Abrego Garcia, who was not just deported, but sent to an El Salvadoran prison. So those are the two issues. I don't expect the president to really comply with this. There's no evidence that he's complied with much when it comes to court orders as it pertains to foreign policy. So this will continue to play out in the courts. But in the meantime, what's going to be happening? I don't know. I expect deportations are going to continue. And the only other thing I want to mention is that these are not all Venezuelans. Okay, that's a very, very important distinction. The group that we're talking about here, as you mentioned just a few minutes ago, is a group of Venezuelan nationals that are suspected of being involved in organized crime and violent gang activity. So they're actually being held in my home state, which is Texas. So that's the issue right now. It's not all Venezuelans, but this will continue to play out in court, and it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Absolutely. In fact, talking, of course, about now what steps the Trump administration will take next. Are they going to challenge this? Reportedly, some statements did come out saying that the court shouldn't have done this. But what is expected next now from the Trump administration? What steps will they take next? As obviously, they wouldn't be happy with this development.
So Pam Bondi, who is Trump's attorney general, she runs the Department of Justice. She will, and I expect already has, challenged this. This will certainly play out in court. So any Trump White House, whether it's this administration or whether it's the administration from 4 years ago, is heavily involved in challenging legal orders in this country. So that will certainly be the case. The question is not if they're going to challenge it. The question is, how are they going to execute foreign policy until there is a legal resolution to this in the courts? So that is what's going to be the most interesting aspect of this. Again, my professional opinion is that Trump is not going to abide by this, and that this does not halt or delay any of his deportation executions or any of his foreign policy agenda. But again, it'll be interesting to see. We are truly in unprecedented times. And when I say that, that's not hyperbole. I really do mean that never before in this country have we had certain situations related to deportations or foreign policy, specifically immigration policy, the way we have seen in just the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Yes, and now as far as, of course, Quinton, this order is concerned, could it have ramifications on further deportations as well, potentially? Because obviously this is a policy of the Trump administration. They want to continue with these kind of deportations. So could this order set a precedent going ahead?
It could certainly set a precedent. I want to also give you a different side of this that most people don't realize. The Trump White House, they truly believe that the more we talk about these specific immigration cases, the more that makes them look strong on the border, the more that makes them look strong on immigration policy. Remember, one of the biggest reasons why this president was reelected for a second term is because a lot of Americans in this country of either party, of both Republican and the Democrat Party, have been frustrated with our government's handling of the border and our government's handling of illegal immigration. So they believe that this is a strong issue for them. I mentioned a couple days ago that the case of Mr. Abrego Garcia in El Salvador, they believe that that specifically made them look very, very strong, and it made the opposition look very, very weak. And there's a lot of people in this country that were upset that our government has not done more. So that's number one. The president, I don't think, is backing away from this now. I don't think he's going to back away from this in the future. And to answer your question, is this going to influence or have anything to do with how immigration policy is enforced moving forward? I think the answer is no. But I think that there's a chance that this allows the White House to get more aggressive with how they can enforce allowing immigrants to come into this country and specifically deporting those who are here illegally.
All right, let me quickly, in fact, then turn to more news coming in this hour. Thousands of Americans